What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have the official blog post for Black Ops 7 Zombies. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This is the gameplay trailer. I'll have a link down in the description if you guys want to watch it without me yapping or anything like that. But it starts off, it says Black Ops 7 Zombies narrative overview. This is the image of Ashes of the Dam showcasing the different POIs, locations. So as you see here, we got the town, we got the farm, we got the diner, all of the different iconic spots, some of them from Transit and all of that good stuff. And then we have Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, Richtofen, Maya Weaver, Carver, and Gray, all as the dedicated crew members, although any Black Ops 7 character can be chosen in Zombies. You'll experience additional conversations and the richest story if you decide to go with the entire crew. And then it says, the BO7 experience is a wild ride, and this is the first image we have of Ashes of the Dam. So this is the environment, the showcasing of what it looks like. You see that pyramid up there and then the crew members at the bottom. And then it says, though the crew may have doubled, the whereabouts of support members are unknown and they must explore an environment doing its level best to kill them all at the time, all of the time. This exploration occurs in the unprecedented territory where the earthly rules of engagement do not apply, and now more than ever, staying together as a squad is the key to survival. So just giving you like an overview, and this is Ashes of the Damned, a cursory glance at the strange land. So here are the different photos. You have Janus Towers Plaza, so it looks like this is one of the main areas, could be the starting area considering they showed it first. It says a triple-towered superstructure violently crashed into a warped and hostile dimension. Then you have Van Dorn Farm. This is the farm that they teased before, and it looks like a once idyllic homestead, now a horrific memory of one family's descent into madness and ritualistic terror. And then you have some zombies sitting at a dinner table. And then going on, you have Blackwater Lake. This is showcasing, and then look at the skybox. So that is going to be pretty much everything takes place within the dark ether. So this is what the skybox looks like. And then you also have the theater room and the zombies and stuff like that. Then you have Ashwood. This is another POI, a frontier town sunken into a rift overrun. And then Exit 115. So this is the diner area. It looks like the name has been changed as well. It says, once thriving, this rest stop and crumbling freeway overpass was torn from its original location. And then you have Zarya Cosmodrome. So this is, I believe, from launch, but this is what they're making it look like now. So it's a remastered version, updated and changed. And then you have the Fog. This is the location just straight up known as the Fog. Much of the traversal roads, some with additional areas of investigation, such as a grounded ship, a forest of monoliths, and a blanketed layer of mist. And then those are all the POIs and locations you need to know. They also provided another image, new zombie type, as you see here, which jump on the new vehicle. And then the new Wonder vehicle. So it says right here, Old Tessie. This is the image that we have of her. And it says, this truck is tough, but it isn't impervious to the forces of the dark ether. And after severe battering, it can become temporarily inoperable. So depending on how much damage you take, it can actually stop for maybe a round or two. And it says, keep an eye on reinforced steel frame and react accordingly. If Old Tessie needs a pit stop, method is to repair this Wonder vehicle remain to be seen. So there's going to be ways to repair it. And this is another image. It looks like there's an upgraded version and a non-upgraded version. So you see here, like in the front, there's like nothing. And then right here, you got like the zombies and things like that. And then there's also the machine gun at the top, so it can be upgraded. And then a new Wonder weapon, Necrofluid Gauntlet. This one was in the trailer and it looks pretty crazy. It says, upon discovery, the Necrofluid Gauntlet is a black skull-flamed glove that pretty much is like a greenish hue, and then it lets out fingers. We saw that in the actual trailer. Here, let me just like fill this out real quick so we can see it. Yeah, so this is in the trailer itself, and it like shoots out the little fingers and it can eliminate zombies. And then it also has like beams that come out of it. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the Ashes of the Damned brief beastery, or whatever the heck that is. Beef zombies and armored zombies. So these are the different enemy types that we have. We have the Ravagers. These are the smaller ones that we saw in like the rear windshield. And then you also have the Zersa, which is the zombie bear. And they did showcase that for a couple of seconds towards the end. It looks like this is the death camp. So if it catches you and it eliminates you, then that's probably what it's going to look like in terms of the animation you're going to see. And then it says general intel. So you have jump pads. They are going to be be available within this map, and this is what they look like. So rapid navigation, jumping off point, landing pads, and then tactical repositioning. You then also have the saw blade trap. So survivalists lost in the time of the Dark Ether seem to have gathered a variety of junk equipment. Flip that switch by expending essence and haunting beast, complete with soft wailing sound wafts through the ether. And then part 2, dark preparation. You got modes and loadouts. Black Ops 7 zombie modes launches with several different modes. You have the standard, so it's just round-based maps, pretty much the same standard way that we've gotten it. Then you have directed. This will help you go through the storyline and the Easter egg. Most likely will always release during like the reloaded part of the update, so not right away. And then we have survival. So survival maps are coming to zombies for the first time since Black Ops 2, delivering a focused, unfiltered experience based on a small part of Ashes of the Damned at launch. So this will be available at launch. And then Cursed take on a new experience featuring some legacy mechanics with numerous side quests to unearth increasingly potent and cursed relics. Activate these relics to face harder challenges. And then it says relics, rewards, and old school challenges. So this is the zombie bear compared to like the crew in terms of size. So this thing is massive. It's not like a black bear. This is a brown bear, massive. And then says tailor-made for hardcore. You can't enter Cursed until you've fulfilled certain criteria, and then from there your focus is finding archaic artifacts of great power hidden away across time and space. These are known as relics, each one themed around a totem from Black Ops Zombies history, and it has a unique condition to discover. So there's like rituals and things you have to do for these. And it says these cursed relics aren't simply here to display in a trophy cabinet. They provide a debuff modifier, making a subsequent match even more challenging. And then with the relics becoming available in various degrees of cursed power, your future cursed matches available as private matches with the host collection of relics available to pick from are set to become even more hectic as you hunt down more dangerous artifacts. Each Black Ops 7 Zombies map will also have more relics to discover. And then going on here, it says down on the farm, survival mode intel. So these are the different locations for survival. You have Van Dorn Farm, which is the area we talked about already. It looks like they're going to make this a dedicated survival map. And then they explain everything you need to know. You can feel free to pause the video here. And then they also mention this, which is very important. I'm going to make another video talking about this, but it's going to be available in the beta. And that's the first time ever we've seen zombies in a beta. Then it says match preparation loadouts. So a ranged weapon from primary or secondary categories, single melee weapon, a field upgrade, tactical equipment, lethal. So pretty much typical stuff like it was with BO6, a lot of similarities. And then the BO7 loadout confirmation and changes. You have build codes now, 30 weapons, weapon prestige, all of that stuff that we talked about from like multiplayer. And then it says part 3, new and returning features. So you got currencies confirmed, essence, and salvage. Those are two that we've talked about before. Don't really got to explain it. And you already know what it is if you play zombies. But the changes are gobblegums can now be recycled to receive instant additional essence. That's a new feature. The salvage bonus from certain silencer attachments that perform similarly to their Black Ops 6 counterparts have been lowered, so other muzzle attachments become a valid choice. Amassing missed salvage. If you find salvage hard to come by, expect some help in this regard. Every 10 rounds, you're awarded around 50% of any salvage you previously missed picking up. Because you gotta, like, this is a very big map, and you're gonna be in a vehicle most times, so that's actually something pretty cool. And then these are the power-ups as usual. Nothing really changed with them. And then going down, changes to the power-ups that they've made. So max ammo power-up now fills your equipment as well as your ammunition. Fire cell power-up now also temporarily reduces the cost of traps and wall buys. Random perk power-up has been added to randomly drop the power-ups available. A number of perks must be purchased by all teammates before the power-up can appear. And then multiple power-ups randomly dropping within a single round is more frequent. There's a new gobblegum power vacuum that increases the chances of power-ups upon spawning after zombie kills. Any gobblegums that summon power-ups like Killjoy, On the House, and Hidden Power now automatically activate the power-ups they summon, adjusting the tactics of when to deploy them and removing the need to physically run into them. And then you have a Black Ops 7 enhanced overview. So 12 types of perks. Wisp T, Juggernog, PhD Flopper, Elemental Pop, and then the rest are pretty familiar. 6 types of ammo mods. Fireworks, Brain Rot, Napalm Burst, Shadow Rift, Deadwire, and Cryo Freeze. 6 types of field upgrades. similar stuff. Toxic growth is a newer one. And then these are the enhancements. And then they go on to say the general changes for the augment. So these are the brand new augments for every single pretty much perk. So round anytime an augment is enabled, an enemy to be charmed. I'm not going to read every single one of these, but this is literally like it goes through every single one, I'm pretty sure. And then you have Perca-Cola Intel and Wisp Tea. A total of 12 Perca-Colas are available to bolster you and your team with different abilities, and you can obtain as many perks as are available within the map. And here's the new perk that I actually want to cover. So it says drink to summon a companion wisp after killing zombies. So that's what this new perk does. This perk specializes in adding a protective ethereal creature that remains near the player, appearing only after the player inflicts a large amount of damage to the enemy. Use of field upgrades, equipment, and other high damage items quicken this summoning. Once summoned, the wisp begins to slay nearby zombies for around 30 seconds. 2 minutes later, it can be summoned again. The wisp is summoned after defeating a number of zombies. The number is important rather than the speed of slay, though obviously the wisp will appear more quickly if the enemies are killed with haste. The wisp targets all zombie types indiscriminately. The wisp also realizes the importance of turning around and will refrain from killing the last zombie remaining. So it won't kill last, thankfully. And then it says major augments: Mask of Wrath, the demon does more damage. Mask of Salvation, the fox can revive you while it's active. This can be done up to 3 times per match. Mask of Distraction, the monkey attracts enemies and does damage in an area. Mask of Benevolence, the maiden does not attack but will periodically heal you. And then it says minor augments: Extension, increase the wisp's lifetime. Haste, decrease the cooldown before it could be summoned. Zombie Sitter, the wisp will attract and avoid damaging the last zombie in the round until the round times out. Fetcher, the wisp will pick up items and power-ups for you aside from the nuke. And then these are the Perca-Cola and their Wonder Fizz updates. The base purchase price of a Perca-Cola is based on previously purchased perks and increases to the price now. Don't include ones you may have obtained for free. In Black Ops 6, the Wonder Fizz machines became available around 25. In BO7, the arrival is dependent on you and your teammates. It is now also arriving after a certain number of perks have been bought by all players. And then you have Ammo Mod Intel. So there's a new ammo mod. This one's called Firework. This is what it looks like. So each bullet that hits a normal or special zombie has a chance to launch fireworks that target enemies. And then last seen in BO3 Zombies, this ammo mod is brightly colored as it is deadly, filling the air above. And these are the major and minor augments for it. So big game fireworks can activate on elite enemies, creating a bigger light show. You then have Starburst, Weeping Willow, Fire Wheel, and then there's the minor stuff: Starlight, Big Bang, High Yield, and then Short Fuse. Field upgrades as well. So 6 field upgrades will be available. This is the new one, Toxic Growth. This is what it looks like that we actually got to see within the trailer. And then it supports a more defensive play style. And then right here, major augments: Toxic Growth takes up a wider area and enemies that enter the growth continue to be slowed after leaving it. Cordyception, the first normal or special enemy to walk into the growth is entangled. Pollination, enemies killed by the growth explode, dealing toxic damage to nearby enemies and slowing them. And then it continues. You have the minor augments as well. And then you have the gobblegums that they go on to talk about. So the typical rarity stuff that we've seen in every mode. Then some changes. So acquired taste, you can now recycle any gobblegum and convert them into essence. There's enough for everyone. When multiple players are accessing a gobblegum machine, expect a small cooldown every time you obtain one to allow other players to get one. Instant gratification, power up summoning gobblegums like Killjoy. They'll give you the stuff instantly instead of having to physically run into the power-ups. A hasty departure, exit strategy, reduces zombie spawns during exfil. Now automatically exfils the player who used the gobblegum, counting as a successful exfil. Then these are the available gobblegums. So 10 rare, 11 epic, 12 legendary, 7 ultra, 7 whimsical. And these are all the names. And then there's also a classified one, which is going to be coming soon, apparently. And then we have some new gobblegums. So aftertaste, re-equip, power vacuum, armor, getting, gift card, and round off. So condition: new gobblegum aftertaste, keep all your perks after being revived. Re-equipment, your equipment slots refill over time. Power vacuum, kills have higher chance to spawn power-ups. Round off, rounds prevented from advancing for 2 rounds. Armor getting, receive a 3-plate armor vest and full plates. Gift card, gain 30,000 essence, cannot be combined with other bonuses. And then recycling your gums for fun. Instead of using them, you can cash them in and it says you crush it on your head. Once you select it on your HUD, essence is automatically awarded. Then you have the Rampage Inducer. So it looks like that's going to be back, and it pretty much just speeds it up. As you see here, it's like this lamp that you activate, and it'll make zombies spawn in faster, be more aggressive, and then the rounds go on quicker. Then you have wall buy. So armor, weapons, and equipment. So shield and stuff like that going to be available. Same typical stuff we've always seen. Ammo caches, this one looks a little different, but ammo caches return with a new look and audio and provide refill of the weapon you're currently holding. So it still does the same thing. They just updated the way that it looks. And then you also have the mystery box. This one looks a little different, and it says the mystery box, strange, 950 essence. You can spawn in whatever you want, or you have a chance to spawn in anything available wonder weapons. Then you have crafting tables and equipment. Those are still going to be available and there. And then yeah, all the tacticals and things that will be available within it. And then you got supports and score streaks still going to be available in Black Ops 7 Zombies. Then there's one called the Siphon Injection. So instead of transforming into the Manglers, you can now transform into a Disciple, which is a little interesting. You can grab and hurl, drain life, unholy scream. Then you have the Arsenal, same sort of thing here. And then returning damage modifies elemental weakness. You have the Pack-a-Punch machine, but it looks like in this case, it's actually the vehicle. And then this is the actual first time we're looking at the Pack-a-Punch camo for Black Ops 7 Zombies. So at least for Ashes of the Damned, this is what the first tier will look like. And then you have TED Tasks. So instead of like the SAM trials, it's now TED Tasks. Then you got new exfil phone booth. This is what it looks like. So if you want to exfil, this is what you're going to communicate with. And with Raptor 1 not being available, this is the only way you're going to be able to exfil. Then we have additional features such as melee weapon adjustments, new enhancements, health overcharge, auto revives, area critical, so auto revive on a new round, area of effectiveness. Then there's like the enhanced health overheal, melee heavy attacks, critical hits, up for the challenge zombies gameplay systems. So new intel inspections with audio logs, artifacts, and things like that for those of you guys who are lore heavy. Save, load, and rejoin, scoreboard and rejoining features all return. Solo pausing, that's going to be, it's going to continue from BO6 to BO7. The firing range is also back to allow fine tuning of ranged weapons. That's like for every mode. And then the armory also returns. Progression and challenges confirmed. BO7 is going to have mastery camos and things like that. It says the BO6 content will be available in Black Ops 7 Zombies. So these are the Easter egg rewards, and then these are the crew member operators. So you'll be able to use all of those. All double XP tokens, all gobblegums, all augments and research progression, and the Black Ops 6 zombie dedicated crew, prestige level 1000. So that's everything that's going to carry forward. And then you have Dead Ops Arcade 4. This one is going to be available, and it's been 5 years, so they're finally bringing that back. They have an origin story of that first unveiled in Black Ops, and then the actual story, so across the battles and everything you need to know about that. Feel free to pause it if you want to go through all of this. And then, yeah, so these are like the maps and the updates that they have. And then going through this, like the small footage that they did showcase in the past before of what it looks like in the different POIs and locations. And yeah, so you can play casual, you can play standard, you can also play hardcore, and then you can play standard, advanced, start. Once again, even more images showcasing the different areas and locations. There's also first-person mode, so prefer your DOA experience up close and personal. Expect casual and standard modes to have first-person variants to play at launch, which is actually pretty cool. And then part 5, additional comms coming in with Call of Duty Next, beta dates, and more. So early access to the beta available here, and they talk about the beta dates and all of that stuff, and then accessing the beta, pre-order now, and all that good stuff. So that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.